Should I use that voice today?
And it's okay. If you don't see it, no problem. We are live.
Hey everybody, welcome and happy Friday. Friday, we always say that because it sure is. It's been a nice long week, and we hope that you guys are all keeping safe. If you're out stuck in traffic, which I really hope you're not, please be safe. We have a spectacular show, a unique perspective today, so we hope you guys enjoy yourselves. Hey, have you grabbed your drink and your snack? I hope you do. If you're not, just go ahead. We'll wait for you. Nah, the show's going to go on. D, what's going on, my brother? How you doing, man?
Good, man. It's, work week. Happy it's Friday. I very much look forward to this as the start of my weekend. It's always a fantastic reset for me. So, very excited. I'm very excited to have Stephanie on. I love what you do, and I love what we're going to get into, and I'll let y'all take it from there.
Welcome, Stephanie Burrow.
Glad to be. I'm usually sitting back with my drink and relaxing, but hey, that'll work.
Well, all right. Well, welcome. Make yourself comfortable. Relax. What we do is normally I start off with a little backing track so that we all get in the chill, relaxing zone. And once we do that, then we'll come right back and introduce ourselves and introduce you and why we are so excited to have you on the show. So we're going to start off with a little chill out guitar. Just imagine that it's not December, that it's sunny, and you're out on a beach, and you're having a nice, daiquiri, pina colada, Cuba Libre, something like that. Just imagine that, okay? Hang on with that thought. Let us take over. Right, D? We're going to take over. Gonna have some fun. All right, so I can't say this gentleman's name right, but I'm going to try. That track was Sebastian Zonino, and you can find him on Bandcamp. He said to give him a shout out. Sebastian, there's your shout out. And we hope you guys are tuning in again and you stick around for the next hour plus. We're going to have a good time. We've got a special guest, a unique perspective, and that is Stephanie Burrell. I met her, what was it, last weekend, Stephanie, that I was invited to your event. Tell us about that.
Well, you were my special guest performer for what I normally put together. This is the second annual lip sync battle for my family and friends. And so he was our special guest. So it was wonderful to have you. Everyone loved Los. So it was good.
Oh, that's very nice. We loved it. We had a great time. My family, my girl, we showed up. We had a really good time. And it was so different. I did not know what was it called? A lip sync battle. And this was lip sync battle 2, right?
Annual. Yeah, second annual.
Second annual. Yeah, I had no idea what that was. I had to Google it just so you guys know. Yeah, I know. I'm showing my age. I'm dating myself, but I didn't know what a lip sync battle was, and we're gonna let her explain. But just so you know, I Googled it and I found out that Jimmy Fallon has a lip sync battle on his show, and I just got told LL Cool J does too, and so it's a thing. And one of my favorite bands, The Roots, is actually hosting the music, the soundtrack, so that the artists come on and they do the lip sync battle. So the question is, when somebody doesn't have a formal musical background, how can they perform? All right,
That's,
Steffi.
and that's one way to do it. I don't have a voice. So, but what I can do is I love to entertain. And that is one way we can do that. So I came up with an idea because karaoke on Zoom, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to put on a show, and that's just me. And so I came up with the concept of lip sync battle. And what it is friends picking songs of their choice and performing it. But what makes it so nice is that they get into character. And that's what we wanted them to do, not just to stand there and just lip sync, but to
So
get into
they're being actively engaged, right?
actively engage, put on costumes, use props, whatever your imagination, whatever you wanted to do, whatever dream star you wanted to be, you can do it. And so they really, last year was a huge hit. And so they asked that I do it again, and I was able to, with some challenges, able to put it on again. And this year was even better than last year. So
That's nice.
it up.
That's wonderful. Hey, really quick before I forget, you've got some shout outs going on. We've got a few people, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can catch them on. Diana Reed saying hello, family. Deb Benning is here, and hello. And my big sis Carla Mejia is here. Nikki Beck is saying to say hey, que pasa, chica? And so yeah, we've got some. You have your own fan crowd here. So, and there's my bro, Keela Jackson showing up. He's a wonderful singer. So again, we come up from a musical background. Just to give you a little perspective, just between me and D-Set and myself, I want to say there's like 70 years experience. Would you say?
Pretty close to it.
Pretty close, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and with the 70 years of experience, we don't know about lip sync battles. And why is it so important? We are trying to make a community here. That's kind of, we like to say that our foundits are our own chat, our community. How does lip sync battle, how does that create a sense of community?
It just brings happiness and joy. And that if you were at the show, you saw how they put their all in it. They had only maybe a month and a half to prepare. But when I tell you, it just brought joy to all the participants, even the audience. They just had a real good time. And so being that we're in a pandemic, that's an outlet. And so having to have familiar faces that you see on the screen, just entertaining you, is just a wonderful thing. And, that was my purpose, and it just turned out to be something bigger than I even planned it to be.
It was. I mean, there was a segment. It was like you had the younger ones. There were some really young. I don't know how young was the youngest. Did you know how young was the youngest performer? You don't have to say names.
Probably 15.
Okay, 15 was the youngest, and then the eldest. We won't say names, but about how old was the eldest?
80.
80. Wow. Okay. So you see that wide swath from 15 to 80, and I'm like writing, I've got notes, but I did not know that. I just knew she looked, I'd say about my mom's age, and, they look great for their age, but still, nonetheless, we cut a wide swath. That's not just a general, that's not a little demographic. That's really what we like to call inclusive as opposed to exclusive, right? And I love that feel of family, camaraderie. There was a joy and exuberance, if you will, and that's what I liked about you is you have this a real exuberance, and I could feel it was palpable. I was telling Dee, I was so excited. I was like, man, I've never seen anything like this. This is incredible.
And I gotta confess, I do know about lip sync battles.
Okay.
Actually, pretty in depth.
Okay.
I love them. My favorite is Emma Stone on Jimmy Fallon. She sang The Hook and All I Do Is Win by DJ Khaled. So The Hook by Blues Traveler and All I Do Is Win by DJ Khaled. It's still, in my opinion, hands down the best lip sync that has ever been done in the
That's
history of lip
funny.
syncs.
That's what came up when I did when I Googled lip sync battle. That's what came up. It was a real top hit. There was I don't know how many hits, but there were so many, and it was really awesome to watch this. It was like fearless. Is that the
Mm,
right word, Stephanie?
yeah.
They were fearless. The people in your show.
I mean, it's just amazing. Even the girls who did the Cheetah Girls
Uh,
were shy young ladies, like shy. But something about just stepping out of your comfort zone, or
mm-hmm.
how the young people say your alter ego. So they were able to really express themselves. And I'm just ecstatic that they really enjoyed themselves, because I didn't know how they were going to take, because we didn't have any young people last year. So to be able to bring them in and to be part and to start first, they start to show off. And I'm like, oh no, you have to start first. They're like, no. But they really enjoy themselves. So they'll be back next year.
That's
Amazing.
awesome. I,
Amazing.
I mean, if I would have been their dad or their big brother, I would have been so excited to see those girls. They were just, and then I don't know how you guys did it. Maybe we might have to show a video or something. But all I know is that they seemed like the videos were all in sync, and they're all performing, and they were just. I mean, can we show that video, or is it too soon?
No,
Okay,
if
cool.
we all are ready, I have it queued up. So okay,
I'm not sure.
oh, go ahead.
I'm not sure I don't know if I put them in. So I'm hoping.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, whatever we've got, I just want the crowd to see what the excitement that I have is, and I'm still buzzing, and it's been almost a week. So,
All right. Here we go.
awesome! I'm clapping over here. I'm clapping in silence, but man, I am clapping. I gotta tell you, that's a really nice video. I like how you did the credits, and I love the smiles. That's the overall theme was the smiles. Am I right?
Yes, it was. I was happy. The DJ Chad, who came on, I told him, I said, I am totally satisfied. the smiles and how fun they were having, even with the music afterwards. After it's a friendly competition show. So,
I love it.
but actually, lip sync been around on television production back in the 80s. I don't know if you remember the show Putting on a Hit. I don't know, I'm telling my age. So back in like 1984, 1985, there was a show. It didn't last long, but they would come and do this big production of a song and they would lip sync it. And so that's where the concept I brought it from. So, but the title is what I did from LL Cool J. I'm like, okay, let's make this a competition and just a friendly competition. That's what makes it fun, just to get the audience involved. I'm like, I don't watch it. They have to get involved, let them be a part of it. And so it allows me to do a poll and they can pick who they want as the winner.
The people have spoken, right, as they say. So we kind of have the same timeline because I started playing guitar in 1984. There was an actual album called 1984. I always loved guitar. I was, had a little broom when I was a little kid, but Eddie Van Halen had an album 1984, and I think they said that it was a watershed moment, 1984, for rap, for rock, for R&B, even for blues. That's, Stevie Ray Vaughan was coming out at that time. So just music overall. And that's why, correct me if I'm wrong, that's one of the reasons we call this show the soundtrack of our lives?
Yes, music has always been part of my life. Growing up, poor, and our entertainment was the radio and the television. And music of all genres has been my entertainment. And so I don't have a voice, but you can't tell me. You can't ask my mom, like, could you please stop singing? But, I don't have a voice, but I love to sing. And it's just always been part of my life.
So you're saying you don't have a voice, but you have talent. That's unequivocal because I saw you on that show. You guys saw her on the video, and you're right. Who was it that said that the editing was on point? You're absolutely right. That editing was incredible. So yeah, you don't have a voice that you know of, or that you've displayed to us, but you definitely have talent, and you're displaying it on the show, right? I mean, that's crazy. And then, like Diana says, I think we all lip sync in the car.
Oh,
if we agree to it or not, if we admit it or not, but we do.
When I tell you, I lip sync to if I'm sad or if I have a crush on someone. Every song, even jazz. I was introduced to jazz in high school, and music with no words just appealed to me. So like Stanley Jordan, Ronnie Jordan, and Andy Clark, and Pat Metheny was my favorite. Oh, I love it. I went to a couple of concerts.
I can't believe you those are some of my biggest influences. Pat Metheny, or Ronnie Jordan, Steve. I mean, every name you just called out. It's incredible. See?
So I grew up listening to all, from R&B to jazz. It's just my thing. If you didn't notice in the beginning of our show, it was Ronnie Jordan who, since died. So I just wanted to give him homage as far as playing his music.
Yeah. Beautiful. Along the lines of George Benson, that kind of, but he was like the new school of that. He was embracing that smooth jazz movement. That's beautiful stuff.
And I have a question for you, Stephanie. When did you first experience music and it move you to the point where you're like, I have to start consuming everything I can get my hands on? Do you remember
Great word.
What it was, like what song it was, if there was one?
It was in the cross between Stevie Wonder, Anita Baker, and Michael Jackson or Janet Jackson back in the day. So, in between those, as far as personal. But hearing my parents play different music, my mom before I even heard Summertime, she sung it a cappella, and I never knew what it was. I knew the words before I actually heard the song per se. So Summertime was her thing to sing to us.
Love that song.
Summertime.
Is that, I have to say this, the flower in your hair, is that an ode to Bill? Is that tribute to Billie Holiday? Summertime? Yeah. See, nice segue. You're the queen of segues tonight. Very nice.
That was my performance last year. So, so I did Billie Holiday.
Nice tie-in. It's a nice. It's so there's an underlying thread to soundtrack of our lives. It's kind of like a narrative to our life, to the transitions if we grow. Because in the beginning, I mean, I don't know about you, but some of us, we take the music of our big brother, and then our parents, and then our friends, and then eventually we make it our own, right?
So that's what I've done over the years.
Got it.
Experience. And so.
Yeah. So how has music helped you? Because you mentioned earlier, and you don't have to go into details how music has helped you cope as a coping mechanism is what we were talking about.
Oh yes. Recently, I have recovered from cancer. I can tell it. Get mammograms. Yes. So music, even to soothe me in my sick bed, I listen to music. So it just always played a part, whether it be secular music or worship music. I embrace myself in that, and that would help me mentally calm.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Other things.
Well, we're gonna get deep, but we're not gonna go dark today, guys. We promise. That's been under the kind of thing. No, that's wonderful. See, that's the tale of endurance, adversity, and in music, sometimes we'll have that, that chord that, it's just that diminished chord. It creates tension, but then we want to resolve it, right? So just like that, we're gonna come back to the thought, because we do want to hear much more about that. We're gonna let you just take a breath, because it took a lot of courage. Chat, don't you think that took a lot of courage? She's a cancer survivor, and guess what? I had a cancer scare back in 2017, so I empathize with you, but we really applaud your endurance. So with that said, we're going to do a little smooth jazz backing track. Not that we don't want to go deep, it's just we don't want to get dark. So we're going to play something nice to cleanse the palate, and then we're going to come right back to Steffi so she can keep telling us about how she has endured using music as a coping mechanism.
Very nice.
And that's what we're talking about. It's still jazz. It's just a way. It's we have different forms of expression, right? Some people use uh, a brush to paint. Some use words to paint pictures, and there seemed to be an underlying current on your show.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't mean to. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but what was the common thread on the show that you had on the lip sync battle?
Music.
It seemed like it was okay. Maybe it's me, but I thought it was family.
Family, um, just having fun, music, love, everything was connected. But most definitely family. I did that specifically for those who looked after me this year. I went through a tough time, but I'm gonna be happy about it. It was tough. So like, I always tell people that this year was the worst year of my life, but it's also was the best year of my life.
Mm.
So, so I don't want to get dark, but it happened.
But we do get deep, and it seems like your friends are here for you. Just like when we are confronting something, somebody once said, "Adversity breeds endurance." And Nikki Beck is there, and she said that I think she's trying to tell us that she felt that your show, the theme was joy with family and friends.
Exactly.
So
That's what it was. Yes. And
okay,
family and friends from all over the world. So it wasn't just
yeah.
catered to those who I know locally. So um, everyone was invited.
I didn't have an opportunity to watch the show live, but from what I got from that snippet, the video trailer, connection is exactly what I got. Like the music, the family, the love you felt just by watching everyone, how happy they were in the clip. Like connection was the word that popped, and you said it like right there. So absolutely, what a great thing to put together to keep connecting everybody and bring family friends together in a time that it's a little more difficult to be together, especially physically. So if we have to build these platforms virtually like we're doing here.
Sorry.
You're
The
good.
track wants to go off on its own. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Like what we're trying to do here with the Lounge of Sound, building this virtual community that one day will become a community where we're all in the same room together. So same thing is when everything goes back to some sort of normal, I highly believe that your lip sync battles will be in person and will be absolutely incredible.
Everybody already knows.
Right.
They do.
For
They
doing things, putting on production. I feed off being able to put on a production, even big, even having family and friends over. I go overboard. So just having, I used to do it back when I was younger, make this huge drama. I used to do like plays
mm,
and drama. So to be able to, I couldn't figure out how to do that on Zoom, but I'm gonna figure it out. But to turn to the next best thing, which was music, it was just a privilege that I had, and I'm glad everyone was on board because I didn't know how people were going to respond to it, and everybody responded very well, and I'm just happy about it.
mm.
That's
Kind of like
amazing.
a facilitator, a moderator, producer, promoter. You're wearing different hats.
I love it. Yeah, I do.
We can tell. We can tell. It's that energy is infectious. I mean, it's a trickle down effect. If the people know that you're promoting a show, and they're the highlight of the show, and what's incredible is I had no idea you were gonna. If you don't mind me saying, you closed the show. You performed yourself, and it was just an amazing act. I mean, it really felt like you were performing. Somebody it even told me she chose the perfect song to close with.
Mhm.
So there's again, it's like that we create a narrative, even though we don't, we may not, we may do it unwittingly, is what I'm trying to say it, but you definitely feel it. I mean, the chat's lighting up, and they're saying they feel it. They feel that joy. They feel because it didn't feel like, look, guys, I got sick. It felt like, guys, I'm celebrating the life that I have.
Exactly, and that's
Hmm.
what it was. I did it for them. I put whatever strength and energy that I had and put it together because it was supposed to happen in October, but I just did not have the strength. But what I did was I started walking and then working out, and I'm like, okay,
Awesome.
let's do this. I cannot let them down. I just didn't want to let anyone down. And I said, this is going to happen. I just took my time. So I started off putting the production together in October. And I said, I'm going to push it to December. Last time I did it in 3 weeks. So
Wow.
this time I'm going to give myself some time. And so I gave myself enough time to, and you came on board. I'm like, what is this? Astro's coming on my show. I can't believe it. I'm like, oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. No, I just wanted different music, because I had different people coming from all over the world. I just wanted to showcase all type of genres of music, and you just made it.
Thank you. Well, my parents and my girl were there, so I did something that the guys here in the chat, or the guys and girls, they don't really know, but I just started little by little. I'm giving you guys little snippets. I'm not supposed to be singing out in public yet. The voice is still under construction as my coach, the boss. I call her the boss lady. But I sang in Spanish, guys. So it was a little different for me, but it was a joy, and I was feeling what you guys were doing, the sense of community, camaraderie, family, joy, exuberance. It's like we're like ticking off all the right positive boxes. Man, it was a joy to witness that.
Okay. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It really was an honor.
And Steffi, you mentioned something earlier that caught my attention, and I want to help you with it. You said you don't know how to put on a theater performance on Zoom. Well, I truly do.
Okay.
So let's do it. I'm already coming up with a ton of ideas. As many actors as you want, we can make it happen.
I am.
Oh, you guys heard it here first.
Heard it here first.
And gauntlet has been dropped.
I haven't seen it done before. So we'll lay it out. Whatever you want to do, let's work on it. I'll help.
I have some of my cast members from in the past on chat. So get ready.
Are they okay with a shout out?
Yes, Nikki Beck. Is she on there? She was one of my cast members.
She is.
Yes.
She says I'm in. Nice. Okay. That's call to arms, Nikki.
Yep.
Okay.
You're coming back. I'm bringing you back.
Anybody else that we want to call out?
Deborah, I think she's on.
Deborah. Nice. Deborah.
I don't know if Cindy is on. And
Cindy's on.
Okay, so I have this thing called I don't want to plug it, but it's just a private thing.
Please.
Do it. You can plug it.
Please.
Anything this is your forum.
My Loopy Hour girls, are they on?
Let us know, girls, if you're on here.
Are they on here?
Hi, Carolyn Bryant. Hi, thanks for coming. Thanks for dropping by. Angela, that's my boss from back in Florida. I play with back east too, and that was my other connection. You're from back east, and you know a lot of my friends. Shout out to Dwight Binyard. He was here a couple of weeks ago, and you guys know each other, right?
Detroit, yeah. I'm Detroit.
So there's that again. We have a common thread. There's like 6 degrees. Forget 6 degrees, like 3 degrees of separation, right? So Cindy Congrove says Marie and I are looping.
Oh, well, good.
Nice. Yeah. So we've got some Motown in the house. We've got a little of everything going on. We feel honored that we've got the East Coast representing us here in the West Coast, man. Yes, that's beautiful. There's no battle here. Only the lip sync battle, but no battle here. Nothing but love. Nothing but respect.
Good.
Neva Watkins. Hey.
That's she's the one that was on there with her husband. They had on a red singing Luther Vandross.
Oh, they were fantastic. Did they sing Luther?
Yes.
What was the song?
Okay, I have to sing it. I cannot say the title while I'm singing it. I tried.
Okay.
World was mine. I can give you.
It wasn't Endless Love, right? I'm really bad with lyrics.
No, it was If This World Was was my.
If this role was mine, okay, okay, okay. I'm sorry, I'm that bad.
I can't even sing it when I'm singing. I have to sing it.
That's funny. That is so funny. Yes, that's me. Neva says, "Yeah, that's me." That's awesome, guys. I'm embarrassed, but I have to have my iPad for my own lyrics. I I've got like I don't know 72 songs, and I have to have my own lyrics there. That's bad. But you guys, oh, you guys are bad. I mean, you guys had they have the gestures and the faces and the dress. Oh, they were dressed to the.
Yeah. Yes.
Can I say this? They were not dressed to the nines. They were to the tens. They
Nice.
went past.
Yes, they was.
And that's something I love about the art of the lip sync is you have to bring your performance, and without the vocals it doesn't matter. That is the big part of any show to get people in it, is the performance aspect of it. That's why we go to shows, is how does it suck us in? And so it's a small step for someone to be able to do lip sync on that level, to then get trained on how to sing and then become a world class vocalist, because the hardest part is that presence.
Performance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people sing, but they don't perform, right? But that's one thing that I noticed, that your performers were in character. They were living the moment. They were in the moment. They weren't phoning it in.
Oh no. I'm just so impressed. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I knew, like, my cousin Neva, she's full of life, so I knew she was going to bring it. But everyone else, I had no idea, because I never seen them do anything. It wasn't like they had to audition or anything. So
Mhm.
I had no idea what they were going to do. But I just tried to encourage them to put in the theatrics.
Mhm.
That's what makes it fun. Just go outside yourself and just put on the theatrics and just
Outside yourself.
let
I like that.
go. Yes, that's what I do.
Mm, I
Nikki
like that.
Nikki Beck just dropped a line. Music speaks
Yes.
to your heart and performance speaks to the eyes. I love that a lot. So true.
Yes. Just to give you guys, we always have kind of a mandatory musicology lesson here. When you're performing, you're displaying your personality. Personality comes from the Latin word personare, to sound off through your person, right? Personare, to sound off or to express. Back in the days of Greece and Rome, they would have masks, and it's like joy, sadness, anger, and they were just basically painting in primary colors. But as you're performing, you're forgetting those primary colors, and now you're going tertiary. If we have any interior designers or any painters, you'll understand the lingo is that you're sounding off. You're in character. You're living the moment. Incredible. Well, I applaud that, and I did applaud. My mom and dad were like, "Wow, they looked like they were really singing." A couple of them, I could even see the straining of the veins. I was like, "Oh, they're really singing." And we didn't hear them, but I saw it. I saw it.
They did so good. I'm happy. I told the DJ I am completely satisfied. Whatever happens this year, I'm done. I'm happy.
No, please don't say you're done. You know, to borrow Angela's in the audience, and she told me once that she's a professional audience member. Is that how you said it, Angela? To remind me if that's how you said it when she was putting on a show as a professional listener, a professional audience member. There's something to that, right? To be that professional listener, professional audience member, you have to be engaged and present, right? To give them the feedback, and you're bringing out the best in them, right?
So, it's coming back next year. I'm done for this year. I say that, then I'm on your show.
Okay, so you guys heard it. Is it me, or did I just hear a promise? Oh,
Yeah, I'm coming back next year.
all right. You guys heard it, okay? All right. There's a little commitment going on there. She's trying. The intent is to come back. One of my favorite music teachers is Steve Vai, and he says, "Never say I'm going to, say I'm doing." And I liked how you said that. Professional audience, Angela. Thank you for saying that. Professional audience. That was the term she came up with. And we have a few that are professional audience. Bill Grog is always in here, and they always have this this nice way of encouraging, of inciting, of uplifting. And Yeah, I like that because you're not just in the stands. You're actually personare. You're actually sounding off and letting the performance really take a life of its own. And, D and I were real big fans of that. When we go listen to people, right, D, we always say, how's the act?
Mm-hmm.
How's the act? Are they just
Absolutely.
playing? They just standing there? Or are they, I mean, if you watch him play, all these feelings and faces and everything, just all very physical. To watch me play, I don't know half of what I'm doing. I go under. Just
Mm-hmm.
go under.
And that's it. Like you have a performance, and most of the time when you're performing, you can't even help it, right? It's just what comes out in the live side of it, and it's the best. That's why I like it. Like Mick Fleetwood was a big influence on me as a drummer, and he's got huge presence and performance. Like all his facial expressions, you just can tell he can't even help it.
Yeah.
And that's what music does to me personally, is it's a pure expression from inside. And that's what everyone who has anything to do with music, that's what's coming out, is your purest sense of self in that couple moments you have in front of people.
Awesome. Should we cleanse the palate a little bit more? With this time, we're going to go a little slower. Now that we've got all this exuberance, we're going to bring down a little bit. This is a track by Rongo Wisnu from Bandcamp. There's your shout out, buddy. I'm sorry if I maimed your name. Maimed your name. There's a band name. Maimed your name. Oh no, wrong one. Wrong one. those like game faces, right? Whoa. No. That's not that kind of show.
Very nice.
Oh, we hope we all are relaxing and having a little sip of that drink and a little bit of those snacks, and you guys are enjoying yourselves. You see how it's happening? See what's going on here? It's getting deep, but not dark. Hope your week is going just like that. So, for those that are just tuning in, like Shirley Ann Johnson, we have Steffi Burl. Do you go by Steffi or Stephanie?
That's my nickname, Steffi Girl.
Steffi Girl in the house. Steffi Girl is Steffi Burl in the house, and she's letting us know how music is catharsis and it is a means to cope as a coping mechanism. So hopefully you guys are learning a thing or two here on the show tonight that, we undergo some duress, but adversity breeds endurance. Common theme. So any special questions? I know you've got some insights there.
I just want to see what music inspired you to with the guitar. I'm gonna give you a story. I always wanted to play an instrument. Guitar was my go-to instrument. I couldn't afford to go. So what I used to do I don't know, people from Detroit probably know, on Ferndale and 9 Mile in Detroit. In Ferndale, a city off of Detroit, there was a guitar store, music store. And I used to spend hours in that store just to play with the pretty guitars. And they let me like, okay, you can play with this one, just be careful. But what inspired you to start playing the guitar?
In my case, because our friend D, he's a multi-instrumentalist and he plays guitar too. He's just shy, doesn't say it often, but he plays guitar and he plays really well. In my case, we had to our church, our congregation, we had what they call a traveling overseer, a circuit overseer, and he was from Kentucky, and he dressed just like the Colonel, like on the Kentucky Fried Chicken, he dressed just like that with a little bow tie, and he played a 1972 Martin D35, and he played bluegrass professionally before becoming a minister. And his wife, she was from the Ukraine, and she sang beautifully. She sang folk music. So that was my first introduction. So as this little tiny little Mexican kid wanting to play guitar, I didn't know what. I just wanted to play guitar. And growing up in an era where AM radio, KYOS was the station I would listen to, it played everything. Country, classical, jazz, rock, blues, reggae, everything from Bob Marley to, Jimi Hendrix and Isley Brothers, all that stuff, And so I was surrounded by all this music, and it's the Central Valley. It was in California. We're both from from California, D and I. And so I was in this melting pot, and it was a way of communing. The Mexican labor, they would listen to country, and the bosses drove around with that little AM radio in their truck, and they would have norteña or regional Mexican music, and so it was a way of communing between the different. See, my big sis, she remembers KYOS, and I knew Crazy Dave Luna. I remember that guy. He was he was a neighbor of ours, and he was a DJ. And that's one thing that we noticed is that the music back then, there was not that much of a difference between soul and blues, and I'm more of a product of the 60s and 70s, so it was a time of influx here in the United States, and so I was surrounded by all of this music, and the community, it was poor, and we gathered, and we had socials, after church, congregation, or whatever, and you would hear everything from Mexican regional to country, blues. I played a lot of blues, learned to cut my teeth playing R&B, and then Latin too. Latin is new to me, kind of new. I grew up thinking I was Cuban because of my last name, Castro. So the influence has been felt across the board. And earlier you mentioned some of my biggest influences. Pat Metheny is a huge influence on me. B.B. King, a huge influence on me, and you can hear it when I play blues. And when it comes to Latin, some of the names are more obscure, like Paco de Lucia, Vicente Amigo. So yeah, a lot of the more expressive players, those guys that close their eyes and they're just gone.
Mm.
Everything from Jimi Hendrix, Jeff Beck, BB King, those guys that just have a way of just transporting you. And I'm self-taught. I didn't think I was going to be on the, that I was going to be interviewed today. But anyway, I'm self-taught, and so I don't know how to read or write. I don't know how to read or write, so I visualize. I'm transported. I'm somewhere else. I see colors coming at me. All the way I understand the notes is I'm painting with colors. There's different blues, different greens. Certain notes are orange, red, yellow, and so sometimes I get overwhelmed by this incoming input. It's just too much input, and so I have to close my eyes so that I won't get too overwhelmed. And so I'm basically, the way I can explain it is, if we were live, I look at the audience, look at your eyes, and I try to play what you feel when I close my eyes, if that makes any kind of sense. I'm not trying to get all philosophical, but that's about it. That's about. And I got started like around 1984. Eddie Van Halen played rock guitar, and I wanted to play rock guitar. And then early on, I realized, yeah, I'm probably not going to be that guy. I heard Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I was like, that's what I'm talking about. And I've always had a love for the blues and R&B and a little bit of flamenco. So that's it. That's my story.
And to do a little more edification for Los, he brings up all the time that he can't read or write music, but he has been the most dynamic guitar player I've ever experienced as another musician. He has this ability to communicate like he would in a conversation with his guitar, and as someone who's played as long as I have, it makes my job so simple. He lays out the groundwork. Usually the bass and drums have to kind of set this rock solid foundation for the guitarist to pick up into it and to stream off of it. With Los, it's like, oh wow, I can create landscapes here. I can create as much as I want, and he can flow right with me. So like, it's been my favorite experience playing with another musician is playing with Los. That's
Thank
just
you, bro.
what it is. It's the best, man. Like, it's so much fun.
Oh, well, I have to give a shout out, D-Set. He's going to be our new bass player, and Walt Bush. In the chat, you'll see him as Walt Saylor. He's our drummer, and they leave this big, huge pillow, so I feel comfortable to just kind of float above it and just kind of, I'm kind of like the mad guy with the brush, but they paint the background. They're the backbone of the song, and then I'm just kind of adding to those chords and just kind of extending those chords. So hopefully when we get to play live, hopefully you guys will get to hear some of that sonic space. We talk about space and safari. It's like a sonic exploration. You're just out there cutting the bush, and you can be in Polynesia, French Polynesia, or Cuba or whatever, and you're just traveling.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do, which is basically what you were doing with your show.
Yeah,
Transporting people.
and that's what I try to. I have a vision, and once I have a vision, I have to execute it. And so, last year with Zoom, we were limited in what we wanted to do with our backgrounds. But since technology had improved, I envision movement. I'm like, no, this show has to move. It can't stay still, And so we had a little help. So that's what you see with the videos and the backgrounds. And so what I was able to do was gather up footage and make sure, mostly those who computer can fit some footage. I will I put the footage together. I didn't create it, but I gathered some.
They're getting geek out. It's okay, guys. We're safe. Go ahead, geek out. I want to learn. You guys go for it. Talk.
And so put it together. So all those moving backgrounds you saw was me fitting that into Zoom. So I wanted movement, like you were actually watching a video, music
Hmm.
video. So
It did. It felt seamless. Like I said, to me, it felt like there was an underlying current throughout the show. You gave freedom, space, momentum, motivation, inspiration, and those are like hot buttons for me. That's what I'm trying to do. Caleb knows. He's out there going, that we're trying to create a beautiful, safe space. And I think that's the element that as a creator, and that's what I'm trying to tell the chat, is we have different kind of creative types. Some are producers, directors like D, promoters, and like you, such as yourself. There's an art and a creative space, but ultimately what we're trying to do for our crowd, our audience, our artists, is create a safe space for them to create too, right? Does that feel right? Does that sound
yes,
right?
yes, because that's what motivated me to reach out to you to be part of the show. What you do here on Lounge or Sound is what I wanted. I'm like, oh no, if he say no, that's okay. you know, but when you said yes, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's just gonna make for a wonderful, seamless show. Like, I had my vision, I wanted it, and everything just turned out wonderfully. And I'm just privileged and humbled.
I'm getting a little knot in my throat, getting a little warm, fuzzy. Should we? Okay, we're getting a little too serious. Should we play something happy?
Sure.
All right, here we go. So we got a little bit happy there. Because that's what we were feeling. A little happiness, a little joy, a little exuberance. You guys feeling it out there in the
I was on
chat?
the outside, be like, "Ooh, that's smooth." Play that. That was
I
nice.
saw Sal Flores show up and I was like, he was going to want some funk. So I hope I made the right call. Feeling some funk. So how many genres did you, I don't know if you guys keep track of this. When you have a show, you earlier you said you try to involve different kinds of genres. Is it for the age? Is it how do you gauge what you're gonna have on it?
Um, it depends on who volunteers. So I try to strongly persuade other people if I see that there's not a balance, then I try to persuade.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. You can do it. But this time it worked out good. Where we had the children. My mom. I was trying to pick a song. She
That
was
was awesome.
um, play Pharrell Williams. I'm like, that's a man's voice. I'm not about to do a woman. It's a happy song. I'm like, okay, we need that.
She was dressed so cute and her face and the expressions, and then it's like she's kicked it all off, and then everybody's singing happy, and it's just
And I was like, look at Bush. And my mom is not her personality, but I'm not going what she was. And so
was she in the chat? Can I tell these guys when we were having our first few meetings, and her mom kept trying to talk to me. She's like, she's in the mix. She was that invested in it. She's like giving us ideas, and she had something to say. That's awesome. She's so
um,
supportive of you.
So
Just
let me break that down for a minute here, because was that a theme through your life, Steffi, where your mom was always your cheerleader?
oh, she always have been.
That's amazing.
Over the years, yes, always have been. Um, you know, but she always she always been. So I can always count on her friend. She goes outside her box.
Mm.
mm-hmm.
That's I have two little ones. My oldest is 25 months, 26 months almost, and my youngest is just about 5 months. So that's something I've noticed is when you purposely get rid of your insecurities, especially in front of your children, because that's my biggest fear is passing on my own insecurities to my
Oh,
children, right? Like, so having kids has been this like an unlock button. It's been really interesting because I sing and play guitar in front of my daughter every night and make up words on the spot. Just because I'm like, I'm never going to have a moment in front of her where I say I'm not comfortable doing this. Because all she will do is take that and internalize it. So, like hearing the example of your mom being your cheerleader your whole life, coming out, being supportive, like, yes, that I believe that's a big part of why you are who you are. And props to your mom because it
mm-hmm.
takes it takes so much self, what is that called? Like self, not reliance, but when you're self-tuned, you know who you are
Yeah.
and you have enough to say, I'm just not going to hinder my kids by, having my own security show up. That's so cool. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I try to do
Mm-hmm.
every day. And so I'm living by your mom's example.
Thank you for sharing that, Deke. That we've talked about this in the past, and I just want to touch back because we're always going back into instruction, because we're trying to introduce a positive message here, and it's not just about music, right? It's about empowerment versus enablement. It's about applauding, but not setting someone up for failure. So you see the positive and you accent that positive, and you don't put up you can't do this, you can't do that. Instead, it's like, look, you excel at this. I see you, and this is what I want from you. You don't want to be detrimental. So what you're saying speaks to my heart because that's what we want to do. I mean, the fact is, one of my daughters is named Melody, just because my ex-wife didn't want me to call her Lyric, but I was like, she's gonna be singer, and sure enough, she is a singer and she plays guitar. So
Mm.
what your mom did, she was setting you up for something positive. It's like, I see you're a creative type. I feel what you're trying to do. I don't know what you want to do, but I applaud it wholeheartedly.
And I got you. And yes, Diana and Caleb, Thank you. Self-awareness. That's what I was trying to get out of that.
There
So
you go.
absolutely, when you have that self-awareness to allow yourself to just let go and be all of that for your kids, for your friends, that's a powerful thing. And it is absolutely love, Deb. Absolutely comes from love.
I just want to give an example of how far she went. He had to wear. I went and got the Pharrell hat. So you know that humongous hat that he wears.
Yeah.
And here I am, this classy, and I tell you, she's epitome of classy. To present her this Pharrell hat to her, she was like, "What do you want me to?"
Mm-hmm.
And she fought me, but she did it. But what she did was, in her classy way, she dressed up and matched her jewelry, matched the hat. And so when that's what you see in her performance, she looked beautiful. I'm like, you took an ugly hat and made it beautiful.
She dressed it up. She was cha-cha. Just tell your mom, Lo says you were dressed cha-cha. Hey, two of the best comments that I've ever heard on a chat. Deb Benning says, love trains, love protects.
Mm-hmm.
That's what your mom was doing. That's a beautiful thought. And Caleb is going deeper. He says it means and hits different points when it's a father feeding positivity into his daughter. So kudos to you, DSAT. Both of you have been marvelously courageous in sharing your experience, one as a father and the other as a daughter on the receiving end. So here's the narrative. Look at this. We have a mom, a daughter, a father. We're getting this authenticity. Guys, if you're home, turn around, hug your kids. And if your kids are growing up, doesn't stop. Keep loving them.
Caleb, you're making it so I can't see the screen, man. Come on. Quit making me tear up. That's it. Right?
That's awesome. And we want to keep promoting that. It's we speak it into existence, what we want, right? I mean, back in the day, somebody would be called boy, and then the audience, I mean, the people, the gentleman said, it's from here on out, I'm not going to call you boy, I'm going to call you man. Hey, man. It's a way to edify, to uplift, and we can do that. We can continue to do that. It's not just a Friday with music. We're traversing a terrain that keeps moving, and we're adapting, and we're trying to help each other flourish and keep nurturing and nourishing. And I think, I'm going to go out on a limb, I'm going to say that in the garden of life, you two guys are nurturers. You're the ones that do the watering, right? Am I right? I'm going to call it.
I'm going to let the chat speak.
Well, they're actually saying, there's quite a few comments about, yes, she is, go legit, girl. So they're telling you,
They don't really want to say it, but they know I am a nurturer. I have to take it. I just have to. I see something and I have to nurture it. I won't be satisfied unless it's nurtured to a full extent. And so I'm a caregiver. I in medical. I take care of people. I love to be happy, and
I can feel it.
it's just what I do.
Yeah.
It's just who you are. Yeah.
About having my moment, and it's a little selfish, but that's okay.
I think we need, every now and then, we need to. My own father reminded me one time, he said, it's like when you're on an airplane and they are giving you the instructions, they tell you if something should happen and that oxygen mask comes out, who do you give it first? You don't give it to your child. You take it yourself.
Yep.
You empower yourself to help your child out. They don't know where the doors and exits are. You do. And so as a nurturer, and I can feel that. I was a caregiver for many years. And sometimes it can be, one of those jobs that it's thankless sometimes. But the day that you do get a thanks, you're like, okay, we're centered, we're focused,
Yep.
onward and upward, right?
And to that point again about self-care and self-love, I truly believe you cannot love someone more than you love yourself. So it stems from within. Your own fountain of ability to love comes from the ability you have to feel about yourself. And so
Well said.
you have to have those moments of selfishness, if we want to call it that, because we have to center, we have to be there for us first, because we can't be there for somebody else otherwise.
Somebody once said, two broken hearts do not create a whole heart. So you have to be
Mm.
complete before you try
Mm.
to go and compliment somebody, right? Two complete people, that's 100%. But one person's he says, I'll give 50 and you give 50. That's, you're not being giving your authenticity. You're not being genuine. You're not, I'm going to give 100 regardless of what you give. That's my gift, right? So guys, just let's push forward and try to make that our imperative, that mission statement, right? We try to foster the love, just like this is, you guys are witnessing. This is a great example here of this. They just met. These folks just met. Chat. I'm here to let you know. I met Steffi a while back, but they had never met.
Mm.
And listen,
But
just
I
comment on
watched you every other Friday, I can
it.
say.
Okay, okay.
I got the recipes.
And before the show, we had our pre-show to kind of go through the setup and introduce to each other and kind of talk about a little bit of layout. And this came up then too, is if we're not building others up, what are we doing this for? Like, what is all of this for? And that's where my main focus comes from, is helping and encouraging. I always want to be the least talented person in the room, so I can just be there as a support for everybody else and just learn. If I'm not learning, I get really bored, and I will always find the people that are better than me in what I want to do, because that's how I get better. That's how they get better, by teaching. There's just so many things to putting others first, and you know, not looking for like your own gain, I guess. Like, to put it simply, look for the greater good of everyone you're with, and you'll be just fine. You'll be the happiest you've ever been.
Mm, Great point. Wow, everybody's on fire today.
Steffi, did you want to say something?
No, I
Okay.
want to hear else. Like, do we have time?
Do it, do it, do it. It's like, I can't believe the chat, the things that they're saying. You
Hmm.
just have to know, Steffi, that you have a support here because of what you did. We do not do this because we expect reciprocation. But when the people have spoken, they felt the love and they give back. So in art, we like to call it priming the pump. Back in the day, I grew up in a rural area and there were still pumps, water pumps. And sometimes to be able to extract water, you had to put a little bit of water.
Mm-hmm.
You primed the pump.
Mm-hmm.
So on behalf of the chat, Steffi, thank you very much for what you do. You're promoting, the word says it itself, you're promoting, you're fostering. Keep doing that because you're getting back right now. And there will be, this is winter. We're heading into the longest day of the year soon. But when the days get dark, long, and hard, everything that we put into it, it will come back tenfold. It will, right? This is one of my favorite scriptures, right? Mark 10. So that's not why we do it, but they're letting you know. They're letting you know, right? So.
And a little bit of housekeeping before you play your song, Los. Please, if you enjoy this, give us a like, give us a subscribe on YouTube. We just put up a donation button to help out the channel. We're donating a large percentage of the proceeds to the show so we can help more artists get on, help them with their craft, help us with our craft, and just bring a better quality show. So if you have the ability to give, please look in the comments, go to that donation via PayPal, and give us some love, because we love y'all and we know you love us.
Am I going to put you on the spot, Debbie, Deb, and a few other people are asking if you wanted to perform?
Oh, me?
Were you not ready? If you don't feel comfortable today, you don't have to.
Anything could be a mic.
Anything.
Yes.
I would have to. Do you want me to lip sync, or I can?
I don't know. They were asking if you wanted to sing, so I'm just gonna put that out there. If you don't feel you could just say another day. You can come back another day.
I would love to see a lip sync performance if you're up for it. I'm just gonna say that. I've been wanting to say it the whole show. I didn't want to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Do you want me to play a song while you prepare something, or if you want, you can come back another time and give
I
us
just want
an
to go
example?
around and get my mic.
Perfect.
Okay, go ahead.
Perfect.
Perfect.
You play a
Perfect.
song, I'll be
Okay.
back.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna play a little. One of my favorite bands is Melonics. I just felt like we've got a proper queen in the room, and Melonics write songs that are empowering. I'm gonna play Black Elixir, but the instrumental version. I do not own the rights to the song, but I think it just sets the tone. I'm sorry, Uwaji is what I'm gonna play. Uji, Uji. I think that's how you pronounce it. Ujjay, and I'm gonna play the instrumental while Steffi goes and gets her microphone and gets in a creative space.
Okay.
You guys are in for a treat. All right, you're on deck.
I just have one question.
What's that?
Am I lip syncing?
Whatever you want to do.
I can lip sync.
Okay, lip sync.
Let's keep this show nice and smooth.
No, right. Well, we want to see an example of what we saw
Okay.
at the show the other day. So,
Okay. So, you have anything by Anita Baker?
do we have anything by Anita? We've got Sweet Love. Dude, I thought you had a track back there, but hopefully it won't. The latency issues is a
Okay.
little different.
Oh. Okay.
We'll give it a try. It
Oh,
might-
I can. If I can play it from here.
Yeah, give it a try. See if you
Give
can.
it a try. It'll probably be better for you. But we love Anita Baker, and you're dressed for it, so.
Okay, I'm gonna put it. Let me know if you can hear it. Oh, I might have to stand up for this. Okay. see. All right.
So make sure you share sound.
I need to share sound.
I'm not sure. Are you playing it off your computer or are you going from a source from your phone?
That's from
If as long as it's coming out of a speaker, it should be fine.
Okay.
I can do it off my computer. And just share sound. You're going to give me host?
You got it. Go ahead and share sound.
Okay. Oh, look, I'm getting happy now.
By the way, my mom is telling me to tell you that you are beautiful and inspiring. And Dee, thank you for being a very inspirational father. She's loving the show. This is straight from Estelita Castro, my mom. And she's a fan of nurturers and caregivers.
Thank you,
She's one
Estelita.
herself.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. I hope the sound is not too loud.
Okay, I'll adjust it.
With all my heart, I love you, baby. Stay with me, and you will see my arms will hold you, baby. Never leave, 'cause I believe I'm in love. Sweet love, help me crying out your name. I feel no shame, I'm in love. Sweet love, don't you ever go away. It'll always be this way. Your heart has called me closer to you. I will be all that you need. Just trust in what we're feeling. Never leave, 'cause baby, I believe in this love. Sweet love, help me crying out your name. I feel no shame, I'm in love. Sweet love, don't you ever go away. It'll always be this way. There's no stronger love in this world. Oh, baby, no, you're my man, I'm your girl. I'll never go. Wait and see, can't be wrong. Don't you know this is where you belong? Oh, how sweet this dream, how lovely, baby. Stay right here, never fear, I will be all that you need. Never leave, 'cause baby, I believe in this love. Sweet love, help me crying out your name. I feel no shame, I'm in love. Sweet love.
amazing.
Wow, guys, you guys gotta know this is incredible because this is the song that I played on that show. So that's amazing that she chose
Mm.
Sweet Love. Wow, full circle.
happens when you go off.
It's okay.
I don't know how to stop it.
She just wants to sing. Maybe if you just lower the volume for the meantime. It's okay. These phones, they want to do their own thing. It's like they were feeling the vibe and they wanted to keep going. Oh my gosh, this has been a fantastic hour and a half. It just flew by. Just flew by. Anita, there's Anita. This is, food. I mean, this is Fiamma, but
Okay, before you get
the blonde always wants to sound like Anita Baker.
I'm
So
gonna have
thank
to
you for
figure out
singing
how to
Anita
stop
Baker.
this thing.
Okay, maybe just lower the volume and
Yeah, we
we're doing
can
good.
hear you. So we're doing well.
We're good. We're good.
And what a show. Wow, I couldn't even help myself. I had to air drum along with you. That was great. You had the
Go ahead and
whole,
close the show out.
you had the whole band.
This is a great way to close the show. You close the show. What a
Mhm.
wonderful evening this has been. Tell you what, next time you have a show, let us know and let's put it up on the chat. Let's let the audience know if you want to invite us. I mean, we're not going to get upset if you want to invite us to your lip sync battle. Not that I'm going to try to go up against that. You really look. She was. Am I right, D?
Yeah,
She looked.
100%.
She was embodying. She's. I mean, it looked like she was Anita Baker for
That
the
was
moment.
so good.
Oh, that's one of my childhood songstress. She's from Detroit, and I just grew up loving her music from ever since I've been a kid. So
Oh man, so one of my top three: her, Sade, Whitney Houston. Just absolutely love them. And Carla Mejia, she says, you know that you. Wow, what an amazing talent you are, Anita Baker tonight. We really feel like we had Anita Baker in the house. Where can we find you? Do you have a website that we can find you, or are you in Instagram, or if we
just
want to just
Instagram and Facebook.
okay,
Stephanie Girl.
Stephanie girl.
The Stephanie Burl on Facebook. Steffi Be Good. I don't know what on Steffi Girl Be Good on Instagram. I think.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna keep our eyes out, eyes peeled, because we love the energy. We love how you're overcoming. Hopefully, you're. I don't know if you're done with your journey, the cancer. But all the best to you.
Not quite, but
Okay.
hopefully by this time next year I should be okay.
Fantastic. We will be all prayers and good thoughts will be now more specific because of your courage to share your tale of endurance, of gathering, of togetherness, community, positivity, nurturing. Man, you just hit all the bullet points that the Lounge of Sound is all about.
Wonderful, wonderful. I had a wonderful time here. Thanks for even asking for me to be here, but I really enjoyed myself. This was an honor and a privilege to be on your show, Los. And
Thank you so much.
Same. Thank you
I'll
so
be
much
on
for
the
being
other
here.
end next Friday.
There you go.
Yeah. The more the merrier. Well, thanks everybody in the chat for the support and the love that you gave to our Steffi girl, Steffi Burl. And she's like the MC on the mic, on and off. When you don't have a mic, we're going to be in your corner. And every corner needs a close circle of friends. So we hope we're that. Deborah King, you've got an incredible singer out in the chat. So, even us musicians, we need to aspire to something performance-wise. And we got a really great example of that. I mean, you were in it. So, any closing?
I don't like to be in the spotlight. I'm usually the host. I like the other people, but thank you.
The host with the most. Oh man, I learned so much. D, awesome job. Any closing
Same.
remarks?
No, just thank you all so much for coming in and showing up and bringing such great chat to the conversation. Steffi, thank you so much for your positivity and everything you do. It really, you made this show tonight. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Come back next Friday. Lounge of Sound will be right here for you. See you guys.
Good night.